Come on, where are we?
He's trying to make a point. Come on, work.
There you go.
I wonder if he would even say it.
I hope you can enhance it and do something.
Also, did you misspell Messiah?
I don't know. I just wrote it down. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of B-Time. Episode 227, if I remember right.
Oh, God, I really hope that's the right number. Otherwise,
if it's the right number. If it's wrong, then oh well. We're too committed at this point. It's going to be me and Hector this time. We're going to try not to screw this up. We're going to try our best not to screw this up. I'm
no
sure
promises.
Phil's already in pain editing this.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But we're going to start off, as you usually do, with the week's leaks. Hector, start us off.
Hey, yes, package for Mr. Top Deck Heroes.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Mr. Top Deck Heroes, your package. Man, another one? What is with this guy? Mr. Top Deck Heroes. Again.
Oh, Melody again.
Mr. Top Deck Heroes, your package. Oh, God, thank you, that was heavy. What's in that one?
Oh, trading cards.
Cards. Was every one of them cards?
Yeah.
How can you afford that?
Oh, that's interesting you say that. I got it from the place called
Secret.
Man, these people are crazy.
It's no secret. 50 cards. Use code TD Heroes for a discount.
I forget what this one is. Isn't this the...
It's for the quick start decks.
Yeah, it's a quick start site. It's the Brandt Gate one. It's the grade 2. When this unit is placed on rear guard, look at top 5.
What's the name?
Oh, yeah. Heavy Arbor Transformation Widgeland.
There you go.
Widgeland? Whatever. Yeah, but it's basically the same thing copy. It searches the...
No, it's not. Read the card.
Choose up to one armor supply vehicle Preciosa from among them, reveal it, put it in your hand. What is that?
That's the order, the set order.
Oh, okay. So it searches the set order.
So when it's placed under your guard, you can look at the top 5 for the set order and add it to your hand.
Okay, so it's not bad. The grade 1, I think it's where it's like the same thing as the rest of them. The grade 1's a 10. These are all the carbon copies.
Yeah.
Just the grade 2 is where it's a little bit different.
Exactly. But next, you have a card that you might be interested in.
Oh, absolutely. So this is Cater's Sanctuary grade 1, Saturate Sorceress. Skill. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have Vanguard with Sorcerer in its card name, count of +1. Search your deck for up to one grade 3 card with Hex Orb in its card name, reveal it, put it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Pretty much it's a Persona Rad Searcher. It's a Persona Rad Searcher for Aquamarine.
I mean, it just search it's consistency. The deck already has power.
100%. Like there was a grade 2 promo that you could use, but this is just you don't even have to be in grade 3. You can just be at grade 1, grade 2 as long as you have a Sorcerer's Vanguard name and just like search it. I mean, it'll change out the way, but yes, consistency so much better.
Yeah, the only thing that hurt the deck was when it whiffed. So just like Leonor, this is a good card. But we got another card to also support it with Proud Familiar Kurakamiya. Yeah, it's a grade 2 auto. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a Vanguard with Sorceress in its card name, look at the top card of your deck. Put it on either the top or bottom or into soul.
Put the top of your deck or into soul.
Or top of your deck into your soul, my bad.
Yeah.
And after rear guard, once per turn, if you have a Vanguard with Sorceress in its card name, discard a card from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card is a Sorceress in its card name, you can put that card into your hand.
I'm kind of iffy on this one.
I mean, do you even have the space for it? All the other cards are so much better than this.
Yeah, like the first effect, it's early game. You can do it but I'm reminded a lot of the common that we like to run, where it's just on place, look at top 2, put one to soul, put like that. It was the same thing, but the fact that you have to discard and
I will say that it searches for a sorceress card. The card we talked about right before this is a sorceress, so you can add it.
Yeah, it works. Like the grade 2, I think majority of them do have the name sorceress.
Yeah,
but all it is just ditching a card from your hand. Look, if you're
just
hoping
replacing
that,
the card.
So if you've already stacked the deck and you know where the card is on top, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, just call it instantly. But
It's
will people say it? Maybe, but the grade one's definitely getting run.
It's okay. But moving on, we got some support cards for Zorga with Ruined Armor Gutler. It is a grade 1 continuous rear guard and guardian circle of your Vanguard with Zorga in its card name with a divine skill. It gains power +5, shield +5. So Zorga didn't get this in the first wave like everybody, all the other faded ones got. So it's getting it now.
Huh.
But the fun card is the double rare it got.
Even I know this one was pretty good. Sea Scissors of Deep Hades. It's a grade 1 act rear guard once per turn. If you have a grade 3 rear guard Vanguard with Zorga in its card name, cost, retire 2 other rear guards, choose a normal rating from drop and put it to hand. This so works well with anything in Zorga.
So ideally before you kind of wanted to use Zorga skill to call your rear guards over your roaming prison dragons so that way you can
Have them back
recycle
in there.
them. But now you can just use this to sack them to get an order back. So now you don't have to worry about bricking because you can just always have an order in bind. If you always have an order in drop, you can use this skill to always eat your rear guards that Zorga calls. So as long as you have this on your board and as order and drop, you're always doing your play of alchemagicking and getting your whole board.
Yeah. Just like if you have 2 Roman prison, sack them both, get order, play order, bring them both back, and then that's it. Like,
And then Zorga skill costs 2, so you can just call 4 rear
Yeah.
guards just from the drop.
I mean, it's simple and effective.
And you have this in the back row more than likely, so you're always gonna have a full board. So
Yeah. I mean, like I said, simple and effective.
Yep. But not only we get that, we got a whole new ride. We got 2 new whole ride lines.
Oh,
but we
yeah,
gotta talk about the
got
first one.
2 new Rylands now that I think about it.
But first, we'll talk about the one that you care about the most.
I actually don't care for it as much, but
Well, you care about more than the
I
other.
made now. So the starter, are all these names the same from as the original OG?
I can't remember.
Well, anyways, but if they are, then they are. But if not, it is the new Alden ride line. The for grade 0s being Knight of Heavenly Expression Admis. Is it Admis? Yeah. Admis. Simple, basic starter.
Yep, once right upon, give me a second, you all card. Next, we got a grade 1 Knight of Heavenly Sal Tranquilla. Auto, when this unit is rode upon by Everlasting Sky Knight Studios, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 2 or greater card from among them, reveal it, add it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. If you do not reveal a card, you get the energy charge too.
So, personal opinion, I think it's way better than the first iteration. Because you do have to reveal cards that are different relies. So look at the top 5. This is just as long as we get grade 2, and then you add something. If you find something that you can, energy charges, which is absolutely wonderful.
You know, so like I see people playing Bastion just ride this in the grade 2 in the ride line just to get a plus one grade 2 or greater, so you can add their grade 3s to your hand or
Oh yeah,
your charge.
100%. Like
This doesn't have to whiff about calling a trigger or something off your ride line.
Like I can absolutely see people running this like in generic stuff, and especially in Bastion, because that grade 3. I mean, sure you're gonna mess up when you ride a grade 3, but no, that's
You still get the plus out of it regardless.
So to over this one, that one was a Knight of Heavenly what? A Knight of Heavenly
Admis.
Expression Admis. So the original one is Knight of Heavenly Admired Admis.
Oh,
So it's still the same name of Admis. It's just got a new
Title.
new whatever. So they're pretty much still the same, just in effect.
cool. Well, read the grade 2.
Grade 2, Everlasting Sky Knight Studios. And then when this unit is rode upon by a grade 3 card with Alden in his card name, cost. So last one, look at top 5 cards of the deck, choose the 1 grade 3 list card from among them, call to rear guard, and shuffle the deck. Already note, it just says grade 3 with Alden, so you can ride the old Alden if you wanted to.
It does say up to, so if you see all triggers or all triggers of PGs or something like that, you don't have to call any of them.
Yeah, like if you, for some reason, you have all triggers and you have orders, because you could technically call the order, but it's just going to fizzle.
Yeah.
So you just want to deck that in, that's up to you. But
Well, I'll go ahead and let you read the main Vanguard.
ooh, all right. So the main Vanguard is Destined One of Protection Alden. First skill is continuous. When a card will be called by this unit's ability to rear guard with the unit, return that unit that is on to rear guard to hand instead of putting it in the drop zone. This other skill is auto. When this unit attacks, counterblast 1, draw a card. Very important. Choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it to rear guard, and until the end of the opponent's next turn, it cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects, and it gets 10,000 power. Very nice. He's at 4 attacks and 10k.
With the other skill, adding the card you call over back to your hand is technically it's a +1 because you do draw.
Because you do draw. Like if you have nothing in your hand, then whatever you draw, then you have something to call to make it for attack.
Exactly.
And then it's divine skill act. Subblast 1. Look top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 2 cards from among them. Call to rear guard, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, they cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects, and shuffle the deck.
Yep.
Now, spoiler alert, we've already recorded Alden and gameplay. I don't know if we've mentioned it, who it's facing, but you'll get a good, interesting match out of it. But it's essentially trying to play like Jewel Knights. I did not play Jewel Knights. I've had to readjust how to relearn how to play this. But most cater knows like whenever you call something, if you're calling over your made it go in drop zone, you've already done that.
Yes.
So learning how to do that with this is different. But this is not like some major, Varga skill or Raziel skill or, your divine skill is like thing. This is like a well-stressed setup skill.
Honestly, I look at this card it's like an emergency button more than anything.
Yeah,
like if you don't have anything in your hand to really use, you can at least pull the trigger on this to see if you can get something out of it.
Like the card we're about to see later on the road, like it's the grade 3 that works really well with it. It's like if you have something on the field and you call this, like I said, like you can get something, you get a better field. It's just really when you want to do it, and it's just there. It is what it is.
But we got to talk about the support it got to see if it's worth it. First, we got Wafting Owl. Continuous guarding, rear guard and guardian circle of your Vanguard with all in this card name with the divine skill. This unit gains power +5, shield +5. The staple common that every one of the divine
10k shield, 13k booster.
Yep. Next we got
this is the fun one. Knight of Sky Flows Galmet. Auto, when this unit intercepts, you have a grade 3 good Vanguard with all in his card name. This unit gets plus shield 20k until the end of that battle. I really wish it would have said if it's put into the Guardian Circle, regardless, it was 20k shield. But I think it would be a little too good.
Yeah, because then
that's it. Because if you did pitch, that's an instant 38k to your Vanguard.
Yeah,
not 38k Vanguard.
Leave it on. Telling it to intercept means that you have to have it on rear guard, which gives your opponent a chance
to get rid of it by swinging into it.
So by swinging into it, or if they have ways of without retiring, like binding
like
or
snow, binding it, or put it in prison.
Into the bottom, like they have ways to interact with it.
Yeah, so it's nice, but it is.
But next you got an order card. Determine with the Blade of Protection. Play this if you have a Vanguard with Alden. It's a normal order, by the way, with Divine Skill. Choose one of your Vanguards and it gets auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks, cost Counterblast 1. Choose one of your choose up to 1 card from your hand and call it to rear guard until the end of turn. So basically, it gives you his 5th attack.
Yeah,
and it gives it to the Vanguard, which means the Vanguard skill will proc to add the card you call over back to your hand.
The only thing that it doesn't do is 10k.
Yes, and draw. So you're actually minusing a card from your hand.
And it doesn't give a protection, technically.
Yeah. So you're not actually plussing off of it like Alden. You are replacing it with a rear guard in your hand. But
man, it's just a 5th attack enabler if you need it.
Yeah.
But there's another 5th attack enabler that we're going to see.
But next we
actually have Alden's personal booster, which is Heavily Defense Dragon Wedge Fluffins Dragon. His name is actually Wedge Fluffins. Yeah,
Wedge Fluffins.
Wedge Fluence.
Sir
Wedge Fluence Dragon.
Sir Wedge Fluence.
Yeah, Sir Wedge Fluence. He looks really cool for a shitty ass name. The first skill is like any other one. If you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Alden, it just says Alden in his card name, so I technically worked with OG Alden.
Yes.
And so it's a 13k booster for anything. Secondary skill, when this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater with Alden in his card name, so charge 1, and this unit gets 2k into the end of battle.
I think I might have found the least useful one.
Yeah.
Because most of them are always like, it gives you an extra attack, it does something to kind of juggle around with it. Oh, this one just soul charges.
Well, I only ran 2 of it in the deck, and the entire time I did not have to use it but once. The reason why is because the next card is the one where it calls soul, but like The grade 2, when you ride up in the ride line, is cost a Soul Blast. And then using the whenever you persona ride, that's basically another card that you sold that you're going to use for the next cards we're about to see. But like pretty much you're slowly using the soul that, as long as you don't have anything else that Soul Blast, you really don't need it. It's just there in case of emergencies where you absolutely have no one. And like it was very useful in that one game where it's like I didn't have because I didn't persona ride. So I did use the skill Soul Charge, Alden skill Counterblast to call over and then use the skill of the next card.
I feel like this is a missed opportunity.
It is a missed opportunity.
They could have easily said, when this unit boosts, give your rear guard the skill of whenever it was retired by or called over by another unit, do something.
Gain some power.
Like that way you're, because spoiler alert, there's only one card that cares about when it's called over right now by another unit. Like this could have easily been a way to give a skill to any rear guard and then make it like, okay, there's really an incentive to do this. As of right now, not. And I feel like that was a really big missed opportunity.
Which I kind of want to go over that one.
Go ahead.
So the card that we've been talking about is Heavenly Blade. It's a grade 3. Heavenly Blade of Liaison Ryazanel. You know, a little play on the word. So its skill is auto. When this unit is placed on the rear guard, cost Energy Blast 4 and draw a card. You might think, oh, it's too heavy, but you actually can do it often more than you think. And then auto rear guard. When your other unit is placed on rear guard, this unit by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Alden in its card name, that placed unit gets 10k until the end of turn. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost Soul Blast 1, choose one of your rear guards and stand it. This is the 5th attack enabler that we were talking about. So you essentially you swing, attack with Vanguard, and then skill, kind of bless, call it over this. This will give it 10k to that one, and then the Vanguards will also give it 10k, so it's plus 20k right there. And then Soul Blast 1, restand your other rear guard. So it's a nice little 5th attack enabler. This is where I said like you only need Soul Blast, and if you use the order, then you have to have 2 Counterblast, and you have to play the order. Like you have to see that, and then hopefully have some other things. But this will stay back on the field, and it comes back to your hand. Like as long as you have one in your hand, you're going to be doing it multiple times. Yeah, you're going to lose once per turn. But it's a nice card. It's actually way better than people think it is.
Fair enough. And that wraps it up for Alden.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure it was like, that's a nice little secret rare.
Oh yeah, we also got the secret rare.
The secret rares are like, it is actually very nice. A nice little gold color.
Most of them, all of them have accents to match the nation. So obviously all the characters are always going to be gold. Stoicheia are going to be green. Darcy's blue, etc., etc.
And then what is it? SCR energy.
Next up, we got some Sylvan Hornbeast support. I'll take both of these since you covered a bunch of others. Okay. First, we got Sylvan Hornbeast Link Scaler. It is a grade 2 rare auto when its unit attacks. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Magnolia in its card name, cost Energy Blast 2. Choose 2 of your other rear guards, and they gain power +5 until the end of turn. Pretty good. I can see where this card could be useful, but the other card is going to be even more useful because you got a double rare Sylvan Hornbeast Mayarashi. It's a grade 1 auto rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Magnolia in its card name, cost Energy Blast 3, stand this unit, and it cannot attack until the end of turn.
To be clear, so essentially this has to be the last card to attack.
No. So essentially what this is this, so let's say are on Mask, right? Magnolia Mask. So all of your Dragon Tree markers are giving 15k to whatever it is. So this is a 23k. You swing with this for 23, right? You use a skill, restand it, it can't attack, but now it's a grade 1 that can boost the card in front of it, giving that same power to that other unit.
Okay.
And if you're playing Magnolia and you're using Gnostilas, you can use Gnostila, pass the power to this. It attacks with all that power, restands, and then it boosts with all that power to the unit in front of it.
Gotcha. That was where I was like, it cannot attack until the end.
It can't attack, but it's a grade 1.
The way it worded it at that moment, I was thinking, so what, is it going to attack up to the end or something? Okay, so it's attacker, and then it turns into a booster.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Only downside to the card, and that's just the nature of like in Mask it doesn't matter, but in grade 4 it matters a little bit, is that it's a grade 1. So cards like Alpin it's less grade 1s to give Alpine power, but you're boosting, so I think it balances out in a sense. But overall, in my opinion, it's a really good card.
This is the second time Maggie has received support
And Divines.
Okay.
You got a triple rare and now a double rare.
Yeah, so let it be known that the only one out of the original ride lines that has not received divine support is Bastion.
Yeah, Bastion
we're
has
looking
not
at
got
you,
a
Bushy.
single double or triple.
We have not gotten anything.
Maybe some favoritism. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because they know Bastion too strong.
But next we got is Lyrical support.
This is a grade 2. Oh, this is the
Quick start deck support.
Yeah, the quick start support. So the grade 2s is Summer Light Procium? Pernicium? Pretil. Proscenium Pretil, whatever. Auto, when this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a grade 3 gutter Vanguard with Marlene in its card name, cost +1, choose one of your rear guards, and until the end of that turn, return that unit to the hand.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, pretty simple, straightforward.
Just bounces a rear guard.
Yeah.
But next you got the support card, and it does the same as the others. When you place it on rear guard, you can choose a grade 3 card with the name from your drop, put it at the bottom of your deck, look at the top 5 for the other card, yada yada yada.
Yeah. So pretty
Everybody
much.
got the same thing, just in different card nations. Moving on. We got the other ride line, and they decided to leak Impauldio, the Brandt Gate ride line, before it gets shown on the anime. And its description,
it's threatening.
Its description when we got to see it was fastest in the universe. Spoiler alert, I'm guessing the fastest equates to drive checks in Vanguard terms. Is more drive checks, the faster you go. But we talk about that when we get there. First, you gotta start off with the starter. Faustelia. Fastidia. It's a normal starter. When short upon, when second, you draw a card.
Yeah. Really cool fucking art. I like the starter art.
Surprisingly, the starter does not matter at all in the deck. Because
the fuck you mean? That's a great fucking starter.
Because you can run any starter, because read the grade 1.
Okay, so the grade 1 is called Ino Projet. And then auto, when this unit is placed from by riding from a grade 0.
It don't have to be any
Just
specific grade.
as long as you ride from a grade 0. Cost, reveal a grade 3 card with Impauldio in his card name, essentially the red line, from your ride deck, and put a system code X seed token into your order zone.
Yep. So,
and what is the system code X seed set order?
So it is a set order token. So this is interesting. The first time we've ever seen this is with Griffin Hero, because it's a grade 11 made a set order. So this is the second time we've ever seen this. Skill is continuous in your order zone. You cannot ride grade 3 or greater cards without Impauldio in their card names, and you get self-modification gauges. And auto order zone. When a card is put into your damage zone during your opponent's turn, you choose a card from your drop and put it face up as your self-modification gauge. Then, if you have 3 or less self-modification gauges and a trigger was not revealed for your damage check, you choose one of your vanguards and it gains power 5k until the end of turn. If you have 4 or more self-modification gauges, you choose one of your vanguards and it gets power +5 until the end of turn. So essentially what it is if you have 3 or less, you take a damage, it's not a trigger, you get 5k power to your vanguard. So Correct. It makes up. When you're 4, it doesn't matter if it's a trigger or not, you're getting 5k every time a card hits your damage zone.
So, and essentially, if you have 4, you've already taken 4 damage.
But every one of those times, you take a card from your drop and turn it into a self-modification gauge. They go into your order zone. I know it didn't say in here, it's kind of vague. Technically, you get the self-modification gauge. So you just find a place to put it. It doesn't go to the order zone. It doesn't go here. You just get self-modification gauge.
So it doesn't count as having multiple orders in the order zone.
It does not say put a self-modification gauge into your order zone. It just says you get put it as your self-modification gauge. Because you
can get stuff put into your zone, choose a card from your drop, put it into your self-modification gauge.
It says you can get self-modification gauges.
Well, the order zone skill, it says when a card is put into damage zone from your opponent, you can choose a card from your drop, put it face up in your self-modification gauge.
It doesn't say where, so assuming it just
it just says face. Oh, it says, considering the effect is order zone.
Yeah, but it doesn't say where.
Yeah, that's
it
what I'm saying.
goes.
Like, I don't think it counts. We're gonna put it obviously on top of this.
Yeah, I mean, that, so
but
you
it
can keep
doesn't
track.
count as an order. It creates a gauge,
But it doesn't say where it goes.
Yeah.
It's not like, think of it like, what's it called? Granthia? You get plant token gauges. They are technically attached to, but I think the plant token says, or Noblest Rose token says this unit gains plant token gauges. But this one says you get, so you, the player, get self-modification gauges is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people
I'm sure
will try to.
They need to clear it up a little bit better, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Because there is cards that count your cards in your order zone, and I don't think they work with this card.
Yeah, that's the whole point I'm trying to make. It's like, they don't want it to count as multiple cards in your order zone.
Because that card can get, because I think it gained power for every 2 or something like that in your order zone, so that could get
that's
out
the
of hand.
Vanguard skill.
No, I'm saying that the card I'm talking about counts the cards in your order zone. I think it possibly get out of hand. But next we got is the grade 2.
The grade 2 is Drasivolia. When this unit is rolled upon by your grade 3 with card with Impauldio in its card name, put the top card of your deck face up as your self-modification gauge. And then choose one of your self-modification gauges, and you may return it to your hand. So,
fun fact, it says may. That means you can leave it.
So one of the things we've already realized that if you've already taken 2 and you have put 2 gauges, you essentially write into grade 3. You already have 4 because if you choose not to put anything back.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to talk about the grade 3 will give you self modification, but we'll talk about here in just a minute when we talk about Destined One of Exceedance Impauldio. Its skill is act Vanguard once per turn, cost counterblast 1, choose a card from your drop and put it face up as your self modification gauge. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less card from among them, call it to rear guard, and shuffle your deck. And this unit gets continuous Vanguard. All of your front row units gain power 5,000 for every 2 self-modification gauges until the end of turn of your self-modification.
Side note, this is what should have been for the crests and stride deck sets. This is what should have been. All right, Bushy, learn.
And then its divine skill is act Vanguard. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, and you have 4 or more self-modification gauges, cost counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, and this unit gets critical +1, drive +2 until the end of turn, making it a double crit quad driving Vanguard. And you may think, well, this seems pretty slow because you have to take damage. No, you're gonna get there fast.
You're gonna get there fast.
There's a reason it is called, it's fastest in the universe.
Yeah, like you're gonna get there. Like the support also that comes with it. Like
this is, in my opinion, this is Brandt Gate Gandiva.
In a way, yeah, pretty much, 100%. Like this is where I was talking about, like. If you have 2 damage, you have assuming 2 cards in your damage in your drop zone to put 2 gauges. You write into grade 3. Your grade 2 red line puts it a 3rd one. As long as you don't bring it back, this gives you the 4th one. Guess what? You've already got 10k to your front row. That's persona right numbers right off the bat.
And your Vanguard's also plus a new card because it calls a card off the top 5.
Yeah, it calls it's more field presence and.
But next we got to talk about a support card.
So support card. This is the grade 1 as Spacewalk Dragon. Auto rigor at the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a grade 2, if you have 2 or more self-modification gauges, put this unit to assault, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it. Nice little simple retire.
Soul Engine.
Yeah, Soul Engine to kind of get rid of problematic cards.
Because there is a card that requires soul, but we'll talk about it in a minute. First, we got to get to another grade 1. Gather to 2/2.
Gather 2/2. Yeah. Gather 2.
Continuous regard during your turn. If you have 4 or more self-modification gauges, this unit gains power +10, making it an 18k grade 1 attacker or booster.
Yep. Pretty self-centered. Fun fact, what I just realized about the divine unit is it requires 2 abilities. It requires 2 to meet 2 conditions to use the divine skill. You have to be grade 3 and self-modification.
Yeah.
Same thing with Varga, which is kind of like this counter for it. You need to have be at 4 damage and grade 3.
Oh,
nice little tidbit I noticed right there with them.
That's kind of cute. Also, a fun fact about this is if you're at 4 or more self-modification gauges, that means the Vanguard is giving 10k to your front row. Man, this is in the front row already on its own.
28K.
It's already 28, which is a magic number. In
28 years, like Jesus.
So this is already hitting where it wants to hit just on its own.
Mm-hmm. And then the next card, well, not this one.
No, this one's going to hit hard.
Yeah. So this one is a grade 2. It is Nebula Invoke Dragon. Auto rearguard. When this unit attacks, cost so +1, and this unit gets 5k in the battle. If you have 5 or more self-modification gauges, it gets 15k instead of 5k. And then continuous guard circle. If you have 4 more self-modification gauges, this unit gets shield plus 15k. So
it becomes a 20k shield,
20k shield,
and a 25k attacker.
25k attacker on its own plus 10k is 35. Also,
the continuous guardian circle is also means it's not placed or intercept or anything. So you can place it from your hand and make a 20k shield in your hand.
Yeah, 100%. This is what I was talking about. I wanted Alden to have that.
So this is just good.
Yeah.
But it gets even better because we got to talk about the triple rare for the cards with Flight Transformation Windstar. It is a grade 3 continuous rear guard during your turn. If you have 2 or more self-modification gauges, this unit gains power plus 5,000. And if you have 8 or more, this unit's drive cannot be decreased by card effects. Why would it say that? Well, because auto rear guard, when this unit attacks, if you have 4 or more self-modification gauges and no other drive checks were performed for the battle your rear guard attack this turn, costs counterblast 1, and until the end of that battle, this unit performs drive checks and gets drive -1. At the end of the battle, bind this unit.
I didn't read that last part, the bind this unit, until just now.
So it does get rid of itself.
It does get rid of itself because of the whole shindig. Like the moment you get to 4 gauges, which what we just talked about earlier, you can
It's already a 1 drive check.
It's a 1 drive check 28k beater right off the bat.
Yeah.
So it's a 1 drive check 28k beater. Your Vanguard's 23.
And I'll tell you now, from fighting what's its name, the glitter for lyrical. It has drive checking rear guards as well.
Yeah.
It matters a lot, and it's going to hit hard. You may not have multi-attack because this is the last card we see for this deck, but I mean, you're drive checking. If you meet all of your conditions, you have 8, right?
According to Philip, there is ways to have a multi-attack, but it's a convoluted way to get around than you're forcing it to.
Exactly. I mean, you do have space to work with, but not enough to sacrifice that much. But
it's not consistent enough.
But if you have all the conditions for this card, right? I say you're on a Persona Ride turn, so you got 10k, you have 8, which means you get 20k, so there's 30k, which means this is a 48k twin driving rear guard on top of a quad driving triple critical Vanguard. So you're getting 6 drive checks in 1 turn.
Yeah, like Persona Ride, you get to 8, and this thing is
like
massive.
On the minimum, you use your Vanguard skill, right? You counterblast 1, call this off at the top 5, and you just swing with these. That's 6 cards you plus to your hand.
100%. And you hardly even need to call a booster if you want, because if you have 5 or more, you can call the other one,
and that's
which is a 15k booster, 25 plus what you said 30
is a 20k shield.
No, yeah, it's 20k shield, but 50k, 25k attacker.
The 25k attacker on this
30,
35, 45. It's getting really big.
Like I said, like boosters aren't really much needed, but they're just there for support.
And on top of that, that's not including that your defensive checks are also getting any card hitting your damage zone at that point is also giving 5k to your Vanguards to defensive wise. So like honestly, it looks like a really solid deck, and it just means it's going to get even better with the more support it's going to get down the road.
Like I'm not gonna lie, the grade 3 looks fucking dope.
Yeah, like the secret rare. Oh my god!
I don't care. Go back to the other one. I like the grade 3 support. Like it looks so much like an actual Noble Grappler.
Well, we'll say this: when we saw the art for Impauldio, right? I was like, oh man, it looks like a Messiah ripoff. Dude, when you see the secret rare, you can see the planet. It screams even more Messiah looking. Oh my god! But moving on, you got more cards to talk about. We got some Dragon Empire support for Blaze Maidens,
aka Bob Sagara.
Yes, Hector, take it off.
So the first one is grade 1 sealed Blaze Dragon Gopayati. Rear guard, guardian circle. If you have Vanguard, if your Vanguard is on with 2 or more cards, this unit gets intercept and gets power plus 5k and shield plus 5k. So 13k attacker, they're 10k shield.
Which is interesting because this is basically the same thing as the divine units are getting.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm hoping that's not a hint that we're getting something. But next we got a double rare sealed Blaze Dragon Alpara.
Impauldio.
Auto, when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle from hand. Rear guard circle, my bad. Not Guardian Circle. Rear guard circle from hand. If you have a Vanguard with sealed blades in its card name, which is important because that means it works at grade 2 on your right line.
Or new Bob Sagara unit.
Or new Bobs, yes, you're right. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to one card that is either one card with either overdress ability or a card with the dress boost ability or an arms card and discard them and shuffle your deck. And then auto in your drop zone when your Vanguard is armed, costs Energy Blast 3, call this card to rear guard and it gains 5k power.
I mean, this is nice quality of life.
So this gives you some early game because it's an incentive to play it early because on place, you don't, no cost, just on place. You look at the top 5, you got either your Verlord, your Trick Moon, or any of your arms and you send them to drop, which is where some of them you won't, like, especially like your Trick Moon.
Yeah, like anything is searchable in essentially.
And then there was a grade 2 with a similar ability that when you have a card called from your drop, it can call itself for a counterblast and gains 5k if you have 2 more arms. So this card just says when you arm, it calls itself in 5k. You don't have to need 2 or more arms. You don't have to have a card called from drop. Just as soon as you arm, you be conditioned, you call this thing from drop.
Yeah.
Which is good because if you ever get a card that arms in the battle phase in the future, yes, you could do this with the other card with a counterblast. This one's just energy blasts. So
yeah, so essentially you have, in a way, if they gave it something that arms on the battle phase, multi-attack.
Honestly, that is the only downside to the deck right now. This card does do what the deck has already been doing. It is very consistent at getting it set up, and it gets it set up, I would say 95% of the time. Problem is that once you got your setup, it's still just a 3-attack deck. You gotta give it something. Give it crit on rear guards like Zorga or something.
Yeah, Zorga.
If you're gonna give it a 3-attack deck. But that was it for the week's leaks. We did get to see the episode. We got to see the new lyrical card. In the episode, it did say it sucked up 2 rear guards to give an extra drive and 5k. And then its divine skill did get leaked, which is at the end of the battle that the unit attacked. If you have 6 or more cards, you get to stand it. It loses 2 drives and gains 5k power and critical until the end of fight.
Yep. Essentially, this is Overlord and MLB's child.
Yeah, it looks a lot like MLB to me.
This is like
it gets a crit.
You're already gonna have 4 based off its normal gameplay, so which means you got to get 2 more in there.
I would say it gets a crit. It gets a drive. It sucks up rear guards. It gives defensive power during your opponent's turn. I mean, the only thing that's not MLB out of this skill is the restaining the Vanguard and losing drive checks. Otherwise, it literally is almost a carbon copy of MLB.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. That's the Overlord effect. That's literally the Overlord effect.
But it looks pretty decent. I have to see the support cards, which I'm sure we're going to see next week or Tuesday. And then Thursday, I think they revealed what we're seeing Thursday. We're getting Night Rose Stride deck set. They're going to see Night Rose's right line, the crest, and 2 rear guards for the deck set with a total of 7 cards.
Which I'm still sad that it was Romy Labyrinth for the Stride deck sets, and that's our first Stoicheia one. But it is what it is.
But outside of that, we got some interesting news. First things first, there was a leak that came out. The early image of Liel was missing the Persona Ride symbol.
Yeah. We don't know.
In the anime, it did show it, so it could just be like, whenever they cut the tech box out, they accidentally cut it out. Or the anime already had the opening have a missed thing where it put the characters in the wrong spots in the opening. So it could be that there wasn't supposed to be a Persona Ride, and it might be a hint.
Possibly. I don't know, but at least we get to see the quote-unquote the full art.
Exactly. Otherwise, the judge program is back.
Official judge. Philip will be taking the official judge program.
Yes. So if you are interested in becoming a judge, you can go to their website and take the test to see if you want to become an official judge for events. Europe had a change for BCS Austria. I think it's a change of date.
Yeah, it's a date change. So we don't know what it was, but what it is now is November 16th and 17th.
Yep. So if you're going to that, keep that in mind. There were some other leaks. We got to see the PV for the set, And it did leak some art of some cards. So you got to see that there is a lyrical card that we do not know about.
Yeah, most likely that is part of the new Destined One's
I know that.
main something.
Or this is the support card for Constrain that was in the anime. I remember the art. It could be that.
Oh. Obviously, we see that one. That one's also new.
After that Thursday stream, or after this Tuesday stream with Constrain and everything, that should be it for the set. I think the set releases that Friday, so we'll know everything. And that is why we're going straight into the Stride deck sets that Thursday.
That is everything for everything else, but it'll be released in Japan.
Yes, it'll be releasing in Japan that Friday. That's why we got Impauldio this past week. Because they're
moving up they're moving up the timeline to make sure everything flows nicely.
Exactly. And it's so interesting because I guess we're going to be seeing all of the Stride deck set stuff between now and set 5. Just a little bit of a
nice little confirmation for the English if you want to go back up. Bracing later, go back down. There you go. Bracing Angel later has been confirmed for reprint in set 3.
Yes, it will be in a triple rare slot in the booster, so you can pull it as a normal pull rate. So it should be about 5 of them per case.
Yeah, roughly about 5 per case.
5. So it'll help drive down the price for people that really needed them.
You know what is the price on that thing still?
Last I heard, it was $80 some. Just because it's the only way to counter Sure Enemy. But it's also good for rear guard decks because if you're fighting a retired, like say you're fighting Welstra and you're a rear guard reliant deck, it kind of keeps your rear guards alive. Hey, it's Alden's better card. It did go down to 45 now.
Yeah, it did go down tremendously, down to about 45.
It's still expensive.
It's roughly about 50.
But depending on how much circulation of set 11, because that wasn't a festival. It was not.
Yeah, it was festival booster.
So now the main booster's coming out. Hopefully the market will be flooded with them and we can get them more to an affordable price. I'm saying probably like what, 25 to 30? Say it's probably the right number.
About 15 to 25, somewhere in that range.
It's still a generic card.
It's still a good card. Don't get me wrong, but it's in a deck that doesn't really matter for rear guards.
It depends on how much Shiranui shows up. If Shiranui falls off, I think it'll drop.
Yeah.
But if Shiranui is still sticking around,
which in Japan it showed that it's still sticking around a little bit, but we have more options for when that time comes.
Exactly. But that's been it. This first episode. So stick tuned next week for all the fun stuff.
Yeah, but we're gonna be bringing out some more games, and we're gonna be some fun games.
Oh, fun games! Yes, we just recorded a really fun one today.
It was funny. With some of the games that I had, you completely just wrecked me. Some of the games that I had, I completely just wrecked him.
It was literally going to us. But with that, if you want to see more content like this, hit a like, subscribe. Hit the bell to get notified. Become a member to see some behind the scenes stuff, or maybe some extra videos or extra content. Like us on Twitter, Facebook, all the handles.
All the handles, everything.
And obviously, if you're interested in getting any cards that we talk about or cards that support those decks, you can always check out our affiliate links, the TTG Player or 50 Cards.
Yep.
They got some great stuff there. And yeah. And I've been Alex.
I've been Hector.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure Philip's gonna say, like, you guys didn't talk bad enough about Impauldio. Like, you guys just kind of told it with the effect and you son of a bitch.
That was Philip's ghost. Going after you.